See Werewolf Kill, plus, Assassination Resolute, plus, Non-Virgin Mary, plus, No Female Lead, plus, Technical Flow. As a passionate fan of the game Fear and Hunger, Shen Xing tearfully spent 90 yuan to buy it. Despite being ravaged by various princess and young masters' wild houses, he finally chose to uninstall the game for no other reason. After all, the game's configuration requirements are too high, requiring 7 friends. When he shouted, "I want a refund," he found everything around him very unfamiliar. Chapter 1. Starting as a refugee. You are listening at Novel Full. Audio. Brain storage area, Ninema, refund. Shen Xing raised one hand and shouted angrily, while everyone around him cast strange glances at him. Has this kid been beaten to foolishness? It's possible, let's sit further away. Shen Xing coughed softly and pretended to sit down calmly. He seemed to be expressionless, but in fact he was extremely panicked and anxious. What's going on? Didn't I just spar with 6 boiling sheep? Are you so angry suddenly? Shen Xing felt a pain in his brain, and a memory that did not belong to him penetrated into his brain. Originally, this was an era of experiencing disasters. For some unknown reason, the human technological gap disappeared, and beasts evolved infinitely. Humans had to build high walls to resist beasts. And Shen Xing and his group had just escaped from a small barrier that had been breached, heading towards the nearest barrier 39. The original owner was kind-hearted and saved a woman on the road. The other party often teased him, but to his surprise, the other party was a snake-scorpion woman. The original owner risked his life to kill a half-meter-old mouse in order to obtain a crystal nucleus. She directly informed the former barrier manager among these people of this news and became his woman. The scenes in his mind kept Shen Xing shaking his head. Saving such a woman deserves it. Brother, since you have already been beaten to death, my name is also Shen Xing. I have taken note of this grudge. As this thought reached him, Shen Xing felt something disappear, and the body seemed to belong entirely to him. At this moment, a man and a woman walked into the cave. The man was tightly holding onto his belt, while the woman following behind her, her face still flushed. Baby, you really put in a lot of work, didn't you learn from that bastard? Ma Rong lightly tapped Songji's chest. Dead ghost, what are you talking about? They haven't done anything with him before. There were dozens of people in the cave, but not a single one looked at the 2 people at the entrance, except for Shen Xing. Songji placed his hand on Ma Rong's shoulder, just enough to play with a softball. He turned his head and looked into the cave, just in front of Shen Xing's resentful gaze. Oh! Wake up! Pulling Ma Rong to Shen Xing, the other empty hand took out the crystal core from his pocket. TSK, what a beautiful crystal nucleus. This is the ticket for us to enter barrier 39. You dare to hide it privately, so beating you up can be considered a cheap deal. Hee, Shen Xing sneered inwardly, the original owner was beaten to death. Although Ma Rong's little white rabbit was being played with, there was no discomfort. That's right, Shen Xing. Although you saved me back then, it's related to all of us lives. You shouldn't keep it private. So you betrayed your life-saving benefactor to climb onto his bed. Shen Xing said coldly, forcing himself to remain calm. There were many people on the other side, so he couldn't take action at this time. Bang! Songji kicked Shen Xing in the chest, who collided with the stone wall and let out a muffled snort. Step on Shen Xing's chest again. Who gave you the courage to talk to my woman like this? Songji looked down at Shen Xing with a fierce expression on his face. If it weren't for the fact that you saved Ronger, I would have kicked you out of the team long ago, bah. A mouthful of thick phlegm spat on Shen Xing's face, and lying on the ground, Shen Xing just stared at Songji with sharp eyes, like a cheetah ready to go. Ma Rong next to him took Songji's hand and held it with those 2 softballs. Husband, forget it. Killing him may attract a beast, let him live and die on his own. Then, He gave Shen Xing a look of, I can only help you here. Songjia pinched Ma Rong's chin and took a bite on her mouth. Then listen to my dear. Suddenly, Shen Xing took out a sharp stone and forcefully smashed it onto the leg that was stepping on his chest. Ah! The excruciating pain instantly spread throughout Songjia's body, and the crystal nucleus in his other hand also fell to the ground. Shen Xing quickly got up, grabbed the crystal nucleus, and ran out of the cave. Songjia sat slumped on the ground, blood flowing down his thighs. Ma Rong was frightened and his face turned pale. He wanted to help him and pull out the sharp stone like a blade. Old husband. This scene came very suddenly, and the people around were even more scared and curled up together. You fools, hurry up and chase after me. Songjia endured the pain and roared out loud, and his former subordinates around him finally realized and chased after him with sticks. At this moment, Shen Xing had already entered the forest, and the sky was already dark. He was in the forest and had to face a life of 9 or death. Big brother, are you still chasing after me? The leader looked at the forest in front of him with a calm expression. Stop chasing, if you dare to enter the forest at night, that kid must be the dinner of those fierce beasts. That boss's sighed. The leader's face turned cold. Humph, that useless person is no longer worthy of being the boss. After speaking, he retreated to the cave, and the other few people followed suit. With that sudden blow, Shen Xing snatched his original crystal core from Songjia's hand and ran straight into the forest. Even though the original owner's memory keeps reminding him. Never enter the forest at night. But staying behind is a sure thing, why not take control of your own destiny? At this moment, Shen Xing was hiding in a bushes, with the crystal nucleus in his hand emitting a faint light. Songjia, Ma Rong, you two wait for me. Looking at the glowing crystal nucleus in his hand, Shen Xing didn't know what its purpose was. Even in the original owner's memory, he only knew that it could serve as a unified equivalent, which is money. Just as Shen Xing was hiding in the bushes observing the crystal nuclei in his hand, 2 lanterns as big as his head suddenly appeared behind him. Dida. Shen Xing only felt something dripping on his head. Is it raining? Do you want to be so lucky? In an instant, a cool breeze blew over his neck, accompanied by a strange stench. With his eyes wide open, Shen Xing instinctively rushed to one side, and a hole appeared in his original location. With the faint light of the crystal nucleus in his hand, Shen Xing saw the 2 lanterns. These are not 2 lanterns, clearly the eyes of a 5-meter-long tiger. Gudong. Shen Xing swallowed hard and stared at the fierce tiger across from him, afraid to make any movement. System, I'm about to be eaten, why don't you come out yet? I called out several times in my heart, but there was no response. Grass mud horse, bring me here and don't even give me a golden finger. At least give me a beginner's gift pack. Shio. Suddenly, the fierce tiger in front of him rushed toward Shen Xing like a gust of wind, and behind him, the path was blocked by a huge stone, leaving no room for retreat. Shen Xing's breath froze, and he instinctively used his hands to resist. But he was facing a fierce tiger, which his physical body could withstand. Ah! The sharp pain came from his arm, and blood dripped down his arm onto the crystal nucleus. In the next moment, the crystal nucleus shone brightly, and Shen Xing felt that his entire arm had lost its sensation. Welcome to the Fuxing ship, please wait for other crew members to land. Chapter 2, Don't be a chef. Don't be a cook. You are listening at novelfull.audio. A familiar wave of music reached Shen Xing's ears. I'm not dead. Seeing the right hand he was still building on, Shen Xing felt ecstatic in his heart. Fortunately, he was still there, otherwise he would have suffered his second brother in the future. Only then did Shen Xing have time to look around, especially the music playing on the radio, which was particularly familiar. Where is this? It seems like I vaguely heard something called fushing just now. It's not a high-speed train either. In an instant, 7 people appeared in the room. 8 crew members have landed and the fushing is ready to depart. Is this the fushing? It's finally here. Harm, brother, are you also here for the first time? Which fortress is it from? Shen Xing was in the corner, his eyes swaying from side to side. He looked at the 7 newly arrived people, each dressed exceptionally well, except for him, who was all ragged and looked like a refugee. Considering that all 8 are first-time landing on the fushing ship, we hereby explain the rules once. 1. This journey lasts for 4 days, and players need to sail the ship into and out of Haikao to win. During this time, they will encounter monsters such as wolves and bears, and ultimately need to blow up the iceberg at the entrance to sail into and out of Haikao. 2. The player camp is divided into 2 sides. One side is the explorer, consisting of 6 people. Your responsibility is to assist each other and help ships enter open waters, while the other side is the werewolf, consisting of 2 people. Your responsibility is to prevent ships from leaving the waters. Please see here for details. There are 8 major professions, as follows. Captain. The initial items include a military knife and tea. Ability. Stronger ship control ability, making him a good choice to set sail. Pastor. Initial items shovel and master key, ability. There is a higher chance of finding accessories, digging graves and opening treasure chests will yield unexpected rewards. Boat kitchen. Initial items include a meat cutter and stew. Ability. Cooking faster, allowing him to cook with half the effort. Doctor. Initial items include a meat cutter, needle, and opium tincture. Ability. The therapeutic items he makes have better effects. Engineer. Initial items. Wooden axe and coal bucket, ability. Faster to make items using workbench. Hunter. Initial items bow, arrow X4, and beast trap X2. Ability. Collect raw meat faster. Hunters who don't know how to chop meat are not good chefs. Royal Marine Corps. Initial items include flint pistols and flint ammunition. Ability. Firearms have faster bullet filling speed. Navigation Officer. Initial items. Telescope and oil lamp, ability. Faster self-movement speed. After listening to the rules, everyone fell into contemplation, while Shen Xing was bewildered. Isn't this the game that made me so angry? I came into the game now. That fierce tiger just now doesn't look fake either, I understand. Suddenly, a prominent bag interrupted everyone's thoughts. That is to say, 2 out of the 8 of us are bad guys. Everyone looked at him speechlessly. Isn't that obvious? The other person coughed lightly. Cough, listen to me. My cousin is from the 10th level Royal Marine Corps, and he told me a lot of details. First of all, the identity of werewolves is only known to them, while as good people, we only need to find coal to sail, and they will jump out on their own. Oh, Shen Xing's eyes gradually brightened up. I said it was sailing. As long as you don't make me a cook, I'll kill them all on the first day. Do. The fushing ship is ready to set sail, please all crew members receive their identities. A voice appeared in Shen Xing's mind. Your identity is a werewolf, your profession is a ship chef, and your teammates are engineers. Shua. Shen Xing only felt that a group of people crossing the grassy and muddy road were really saying whatever they wanted, and that engineer was the one who just mentioned that there were 2 bad guys among them. At this moment, he was staring at Shen Xing, dressed in white clothes and a red scarf. Shen Xing quickly turned his head and pretended not to know this guy. Sail. Set sail. Kindly light the boiler. After listening to the rules just now, everyone also roughly knows the distribution of the map. There are campsites with hidden supplies on the left and right sides. Taking advantage of the captain's departure for the ship, everyone began to discuss zoning. The Royal Marines happened to be the person with a big cousin. Royal Marine Corps. Believe me, this makes me an absolute good person. Follow my rhythm. The hunter never spoke and went straight to the bow of the ship, looking at the glacier in front of him. I'm going to develop on the right side. The royal family suddenly became angry. You go to the right, where should I go? His cousin taught him the method. 1 battalion on the right, make bullets directly, and then move coal into the wolf hole. The hunter glanced at him. I don't care where you go. Then jumped directly off the bow of the ship. When he said, he is iron good, he was already not good enough, only werewolves would always emphasize that he is a good person. Shen Xing was the second to jump off the bow of the ship and walk towards the right. Then, the doctor and engineer also walked towards the right, and the remaining few had to walk towards the left. Hunter brothers, punch the seal as you pass by. Shen Xing slowed him down by 1 step, in order to gain the other party's trust. From afar, Shen Xing saw a seal, and the familiar feeling made him burst into tears. A flying knife hit the seal and landed 1 meter in front of it. Poochie, brother, your flying knife skills are not good. The doctor passed by next to him, and the engineer followed closely behind. Can you help me cut a knife as I pass by, Xuan Q? Picking up the kitchen knife, Shen Xing chopped it off twice and began to chop the meat, obtaining a piece of fat and a piece of lean meat. Nice. Then, another flying knife hit the seal in front, but he aimed at the doctor. Sleeping trough, buddy, what kind of knife technique are you using? The doctor almost jumped up when he saw the kitchen knife falling at his feet. Shen Xing quickly explained, I didn't mean to. This seal can teleport and run over there in just 1 second. It's okay. The doctor believed it, he actually believed it. Shen Xing peeled off another piece of fat and lean meat. Before arriving at the first wooden bridge, I encountered another seal and took it away with 2 knives. It's the same piece again, and 4 more pieces of meat will be enough for him to make a pot of chicken soup, stewed meat. Arriving at 2 graves, there was a wolf that had already been beaten to death. It looked like a hunter's pen, and 3 arrows were shot to death. Shen Xing looked at the hunter's back, good guy, with some strength. Open it up. Obtain 3 pieces of lean meat and a tendon, good thing. The hunter started developing directly on the right side of the camp, with all the scrap metal and ammunition boxes opened. Obviously, he didn't trust the royal family very much. The engineer stood outside the camp, watching and doing nothing. This is undoubtedly a pure baby. The hunter, who was making things on the workbench, looked at the engineer at the door and said, there is a material box outside. Go and open it. There is scrap iron and lead inside. You can find some wood to make coal barrels, and then go to the nearby wolf hole to move coal. Oh, good. Shen Xing happened to pass by the back of the tent and heard their conversation. He couldn't help but shake his head and walked straight towards the wolf hole. Chapter 3. Engineers are wolves. You are listening at novelfull.audio. As soon as he arrived at the entrance of the cave, a wolf ran out. Shen Xing picked up his kitchen knife and slashed it 4 times, killing it directly. It's 3 pieces of lean meat and 1 piece of skin, and now there's only 1 tendon left to make a teddy bear backpack. There seems to be another wolf inside. Let's help him fight together, otherwise I'm afraid he'll be bitten alive by the wolf. Shen Xing, relying on his own skills, was only bitten twice before chopping the wolf to death, and then scraped 3 pieces of lean meat and a tendon. It's great. Go straight to the campsite outside and make a teddy bear backpack. A coal barrel requires 2 lead ingots and 3 pieces of wood, just enough to make one. I happened to encounter an engineer making coal barrels inside, and the speed was amazing. Even the hunters went to the second camp. Shen Xing looked forward at the hunters in the 2nd battalion. This guy doesn't want to go up the mountain, does he? Hey, brother, it's you. The engineer was very excited when he saw Shen Xing and spoke in a low voice. Brother, do you know how to play? I don't know how to do it at all. Although I have the right to escape death for the first time, I don't want to die. Shen Xing started making backpacks directly. It's okay, just leave it to me. Can you use the skills? The engineer looked at the 3 icons in front of him. Are these 3? The 3 skills are white mist blocking the eyes, creating white mist that obstructs the opponent's line of sight, summoning ghostly creatures, summoning a group of ghostly creatures, aiming at the enemy, and walking in the spiritual realm, invisible walking, ignoring attacks. Yes, you go to the wolf cave first to move out all the coal, and then make a bomb barrel on the workbench. The engineer was surprised. Ah! Didn't I expose it? Shen Xing rested on his shoulder. There will always be someone exposed, and besides, I have other tasks assigned to you. Okay then. The engineer went to move coal, while Shen Xing walked towards the doctor's bag at the door. The first one, empty. The second one, empty. Arriving at the opposite campsite, it's still empty. Shua. Who touched my chef's bag? At this point, the skill had cooled down and there was no one around. Shen Xing directly activated the white mist and then used perspective to check the enemy's whereabouts. The doctor is in the ice house ahead, and the hunter has indeed gone to the second camp. The engineer finally came out with coal on his back. Have you taken the herbs from the doctor's bag? The engineer looked bewildered. Ah. No, there isn't. Shen Xing fell silent. Isn't it the hunter who forced it? If it weren't for him being a wolf, he would have suspected that the hunter was a wolf. The 2 of them began to secretly touch and make explosives, and the excess coal was burned directly. It was impossible to bring back a single piece of coal. Engineer, I have assigned you a difficult task. What is it? Shen Xing looked at him with a somewhat solitary demeanor. From now on, don't go back to the ship, just stay outside, make more totems, and then run to the front of the ship when there is a chance, throwing all the coal and scrap iron into the sea. The engineer faced a dilemma. Isn't that good? What will they do then? Shen Xing roared with hatred that iron cannot turn into steel. What are you worried about them doing? We're teammates. The engineer awkwardly scratched his head. Yeah. Go to the wolf cave now to make a totem. The engineer quickly ran out of the camp. Don't be aggressive, I'll go. Shen Xingchang breathed a sigh of relief. He didn't have high expectations for his teammates, as long as he could make totems. An explosive barrel requires 1 coal barrel and 5 gunpowder, and Shen Xing made a total of 2 explosive barrels. When all this was done, the sky had already darkened, and the other few people were pushing the boat at a decent speed, heading straight to the location of Nakajima. On the way back to the ship, Shen Xing happened to encounter a doctor's bag. In theory, this doctor's bag is usually touched by a doctor, but it has not been opened. There's just 1 opium tincture and 5 herbs inside. Dang dang, as you approach the ship, you can hear the ringing of the bells on board. He could have seen the position of the ship through perspective, but he just pretended not to know. Hello, hello, is anyone there? Where is the ship? Here, here. Following their voice, Shen Xing realized that the ship had already passed over Zhongdao, on the left side of the river. As he was about to board the ship, Shen Xing noticed that the bear was not far away and did not fight. Suddenly came up with a plan. He flew the kitchen knife directly towards the bear's buttocks, leading the bear towards him. Oh, why is there still a bear? Shen Xing pretended to be panicked and quickly boarded the ship. The navigator, the royal family, and the captain are all on board the ship. Navigation officer. Hurry up. Get on board, the bear won't attack once it gets on the ship. Shen Xing knows this better than you. You two, a navigator and a royal, are walking on the left. It's already dark on the first day, but the bear is still there, Iron Wolf. As soon as he stepped onto the deck, the royal gun was aimed at Shen Xing. Why did you come back after dark? Shen Xing spread out his hands. Of course it's meat picking. I killed 3 seals and 3 wolves alone. The royal brow furrowed tightly. Did you enter the wolf hole? I'm in, but the engineer doesn't know what's going on. He just refused to move coal into the cave and followed the hunter to the 2nd Right Battalion. By the way, what was the sound of the siren just now? Thinking that the hunter and engineer had not returned yet, everyone also believed what Shen Xing said, and the royal family withdrew the gun. It was the doctor's first death. He was fighting against the wolf and an engineer suddenly emerged from behind and gave him 2 axes. Shen Xing silently gave the engineer a thumbs up in his heart. This guy is still okay. It seems that engineers and hunters are both wolves now. I'm going to cook. The navigation officer urged on the side, hurry up, hurry up. I haven't eaten all day, I'm starving. Shen Xing opened the stove and surprisingly, a master key was refreshed inside. He then lit a piece of coal and put 10 lean meats into it to start making stewed meat. The first meal must be arranged, and Shen Xing has no intention of poisoning them. He first locked the door and then saw a message coming from the left. The other party obtained nitroglycerin, Ward FA. Shen Xing didn't expect that the hunter really had ideas, and the engineer who was making the totem outside also received this message. He can't just kill the bear like this. So Shen Xing crazily sent signals to the engineers. Attack attack, dot. Watching the constantly emerging signals, the engineer scratched his head in confusion. What did he say this signal was for? Looking at my 3 skills, I started to struggle. Oh no, forget it, just put any one. Shen Xing, who was cooking in the kitchen, suddenly heard a ghostly cry and finally felt relieved. Shen Xing, hiding in the corner of the kitchen, also had a mischievous smile on his face. It's my turn to perform. He pulled out his bone knife and directly activated the white mist skill. Captain. Hey, the werewolf has released his skills again and can't see anything. Come and have someone go to the bow of the ship to see the way. A few people all went to the bow of the ship, and at this moment, Shen Xing quietly slipped out of the kitchen and arrived at the chess and card room. He lit 2 explosive barrels and quickly returned to the kitchen, locking the door. Just then the doctor came to open the door. Why, I'm cooking. Do you want to come in and poison me? Chapter 4. Kitchen, I guarantee you as a good Iron Man. You are listening at novelfull.audio. The doctor was caught off guard by Shen Xing's sudden bite. Bullshit, I'm here to see if you've taken the opportunity to do anything wrong. I'm a tough guy, certified by the royal family. At this moment, the ship was still moving forward, and the royal and navigation officers were looking at the direction at the bow of the ship. To the left, to the left. To the right, to the right. During the tug and tug, the ship collided directly with the shore, causing several holes to appear. The royal anger immediately came up. His mother, Captain, are you blind? Can it be hit? The captain is not the kind of person who scolds and doesn't respond. What are you barking at when the dog is barking? It's not like you guys were barking left and right, how do I know? Bang! A loud explosion echoed through the sky, and the royal family standing at the bow of the ship was blown down. The second explosion followed, and the royal family was killed. Shen Xing quickly shouted. I'm Zhua, what's the situation? Did my cooking stove explode? The royal face, who was waiting for resurrection in the prison at this moment, was very ugly. He never expected to lose his first life in this way. Stop shouting, someone has come to bomb the ship, it must be an engineer. Shen Xing quickly agreed. It must be him. At this moment, another sound came from the side of the boat. Hey, why is the ship sailing so fast? Stop it, I'm freezing. The pastor doesn't know where to dig the grave and has only returned now. Don't worry about him, save me first. The royal family shouted in the prison, and the doctor was searching up and down the ship, but couldn't find the key. Without the key, we can't save it. Shen Xing leisurely shouted in the kitchen. I don't have a key either. I have to watch this pot of stewed meat. If it gets poisoned, you'll have to rely on me again. The Royal Marines had run over 10,000 grass mud horses in their hearts, and he gritted his teeth and asked, Cook, did you put the explosive bucket in there? Before Shen Xing could answer, the doctor whitewashed him. This chef has been in the kitchen all along and hasn't come out, I'm watching. Shen Xing is currently hiding a key, but how could he possibly save the royal family? Yeah, I've been locking myself in the kitchen all along. The pastor, who was still running with the ship, spoke again. Help me, I have keys. There are several keys. At this moment, the navigation officer suddenly said something. Royal, isn't it the explosive barrel you put in the bow of the ship yourself? The royal family in the prison cell suddenly had bulging veins. Am I a fool? Did I blow myself up? Another alarm sounded, and the pastor finally came back dead. I was cold to death right beside the boat. Why didn't you save me? The doctor also spoke at this moment. It's this Royal Marine Corps who won't let us go save you. The navigator would like to add another sentence at this time. I feel like this royal is a traitor. He didn't do anything throughout the entire journey. I carried all the coal alone and even directed the ship to sail to the shore. The pastor is also angry, he didn't have to die originally. Royal, UXXXXX, take a gun, UXXXX, I'll go to UXXXX. Shen Xing didn't expect this pastor to be so violent, there was so much internal strife. At this moment, the ship stopped at Nakajima and Shen Xing's stew was also ready. Everyone, stop arguing for now. The food is ready, come and eat. The doctor has 1 can, the captain has 1 can, and the navigator directly ordered 2 cans. Give me 2 cans of stewed meat. When it's dawn, I'll go directly to the second camp on the left to find wooden boards and scrap iron. Okay. At this moment, the royal family was still in prison and sparking with the priest. The captain took the gun directly from the royal body. Navigation, you give me the oil lamp, and the captain and I will go out to move coal. You come and repair the ship. The doctor spoke up and said that the hunter had already been forgotten by them. Shen Xing looked through the perspective and found that the hunter was not dead. Okay, be careful. Shen Xing also ate a can of stewed meat himself, and the sky gradually brightened. The next day, Shen Xing took out a kitchen knife and said to the navigation, I'll go down and pick some meat. Okay, bring some wooden boards back by the way. No problem. Shen Xing went directly to the outside of the left camp, killed a seal and a rabbit, and then stole a chef's bag to obtain 5 herbs. Then bring back 10 wooden boards, pretend to be good people, then pretend to be the end. I'm back, I have a key and 10 wooden boards. Upon hearing Shen Xing's voice, the navigation system exclaimed, Okay, okay. Okay, good, cook, this is my best friend to protect you. Good protection. Shen Xing arrived on the ship and threw 10 wooden boards to the navigation. Here's the wooden board for you to repair the ship. Leave it to me. Arriving at the entrance of the prison cell, Shen Xing only had 1 key in his hand, pretending to be in a difficult situation. I only have 1 key, who should I save? Help me. Help me. Both of them shouted loudly. Shen Xing turned his head to look at the navigation system being repaired. Navigation, who should we save first? After pondering for a moment, the navigator said, Save the priest. The royal family is not like a good person. Save the priest and let him go dig some keys. Okay. The pastor quickly thanked him, but the royal family beside him angrily smashed the door. I said save me first, otherwise you won't want to win. The navigation has just been repaired here, let out a cold snort. Shit, it's just you. It's been the second day now. What have you done? You only know how to brag and make yourself have a big cousin, bah, nothing. The royal face turned green and white, and any explanation was pale and powerless. After successfully rescuing the pastor, Shen Xing handed the remaining 2 cans of stewed meat directly to the pastor. After all, people haven't eaten for a day and a night. As for the one in prison, let's go hungry. Come on, pastor, I'll stew 2 cans of meat for you. Eat both. Okay, thank you, cook. You're a good person. Shen Xing waved his hand and quickly got off the boat at dawn to pick some meat. It's okay, once we're full, we'll go to work. The hunter doesn't know what's going on either. Mind him. As he spoke, the pastor walked towards his body and Shen Xing began collecting wooden boards. Do. Another alarm sounded. Who died again? At this moment, the captain has returned with coal and is repairing the ship together, but there is not enough scrap metal and it has not been repaired yet. Oh. So he's an engineer, you kid. Tell me, how did he come back from dying? The engineer awkwardly scratched his head. Huh, then what? I was bitten to death by a wolf. Puzzle, ha ha ha. The captain couldn't hold back. You deserve it, who would dare to blow up the ship, kid? The engineer knew that it was Shen Xing who fried it, so he decided to directly carry this pot on his back. Hi, it seems that what I'm frying is quite useful. You guys haven't fixed it yet. We've all gotten into so much water. As soon as he heard these words, he became angry. A military knife struck at the entrance of the prison cell. Stinky kid, where's the scrap iron in those material boxes? Did you hide it? The engineer spread his hands. You've wronged me, how could I hide? The captain touched his chin and analyzed carefully. No, who stole them all? Can it be more than 2 spies? Chapter 5. I am a wolf, even a cook cannot be a wolf. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Seeing the captain actually starting to analyze, the engineer laughed heartily. Ha ha ha, okay, I'm not teasing you anymore. I didn't hide it, I just threw them all into the sea. The captain heard that he had been played with. You spicy neighbor, dare to play with me. The engineer made a face at him. Come in and chop me if you don't agree. Shen Xing, who had been busy outside for half a day, took some time to build a totem in the hole in front of the left camp. At this time, the total number of totems was only 4. He hasn't used any skills for a while now, and his energy is full. When he opened the perspective, he found that the hunter was still on the mountain and summoned a wave of level 3 ghoul. I don't believe you can still catch this wave of attack. Leave the cave and run towards the boat as if nothing had happened. Hello, hello, is there anyone on board? I can cook a big meal again. Navigation responds immediately. Someone, I'm on the boat. Do you have any wooden boards? I'll fix the boat. Shen Xing really wanted to complain roast, it has been a day, the boat has not been repaired, and the water in the cabin is up to his knees. Do. I have a wooden board, I'll give it to you. Who died again? Me. The hunter's voice sounded somewhat unwilling. I know how the hunter died, but I still have to ask. How did the hunter die? And it's already the next day. I went up the mountain. Navigation is continuing to repair the ship on the side. Why are you going up the mountain? Of course, it's going to move the sweet fried iceberg. At this moment, the royal family choked on the side and said, I think you want to bring glycerin to blow up the ship. The hunter was too lazy to explain to him. Help me, while they don't have the skills now, I'll go and fry the iceberg with sweet oil. At this point, the navigation still has a key. It's time to save me, the engineers have already escaped from prison. If I were a wolf, how could I still be here? The navigation is also very complicated, looking at Shen Xing. Save who? Let's save the hunter. I think he makes a lot of sense. We have to rely on him to blow up the iceberg in order to have a chance of winning. Navigation nods. Okay. The royal family was crazily smashing the door on the side. Help me, why not save him? I've been locked up all day, why not save me? The navigator glanced at him blankly and said, what's the use of rescuing you? Do nothing, just stay calm and wait for the pastor to come back and see if he has the key. At this moment, as the sky gradually darkened and everyone returned, the ship was finally repaired. At this moment, engineers are frantically building totems. Why did the ship take a whole day to repair? The doctor and the captain have returned once again. Navigation immediately vomited bitterness. There's no way, the scrap iron has been thrown into the sea by the engineer's offspring. Where's the chef? Have you cooked yet? The navigation immediately pats the chest. The kitchen brothers are here, absolutely good people. They found many wooden boards to repair the ship and even saved the hunter. This makes me a wolf, he can't even be a wolf. At this moment, Shen Xing was secretly making poison in the kitchen and then starting to stew meat. Brothers, the stew will be ready soon, don't worry. At this moment, the hunter is still on the ship, preparing to take a can of stewed meat and go up the mountain. The captain looked at the doctor. We need to speed up the progress. You go add coal and I'll set sail. Shen Xing was in the corner of the kitchen and noticed that the priest was still digging a grave by the boat, summoning a wave of second-level ghosts directly. The few people on the ship frowned when they heard the sound. Who's still outside? The navigation exclaimed, Pastor. That guy said he's going to dig 2 more graves. The doctor cursed with hatred that iron cannot be turned into steel. Dig and dig, I know how to dig, but I haven't seen him bring back some good things. I'll die if I die, I'll eat with one less mouth. Shen Xing immediately said, now they don't have the skills, can we take this opportunity to go out and find supplies? The navigation surface shows a difficult color. But it's already dark. If you go out now, you probably won't be able to find your way back. The doctor really agrees with Shen Xing's words. I agree with the chef's words. Tomorrow will be the 3rd day, and we don't have much time. Let's do it this way, Captain. You can continue driving, and we'll take the chef's food out to move coal. Line. After the hunter rescued him from the kitchen just now, he didn't suspect him at all and directly prepared to go up the mountain with a can of stewed meat. He also took a can himself, and then secretly returned to the right side of a battalion, where the body had never been touched. He directly peeled it off and then found some wood to build a totem. See if I can poison you all. One night, Shen Xing built several totems and through perspective, he saw that the hunter had already climbed the mountain. There are really 2 brushes, they can even use glycerin to fry bears. There must be a master behind them. The hunter was carrying glycerin to prepare for frying an iceberg when suddenly green water popped out of his mouth. Toxic. Then the face that looked very innocent appeared in his mind. Damn the cook. At this moment, Shen Xing was frantically sending signals to the engineers. Attack attack, he has been repairing totems and even forgot to use his skills. Summoning a wave of level 3 ghouls towards the lonely person, but that person is not a hunter. But the captain who sailed alone on the ship. Shua. At this moment, several people who had eaten Shen Xing's stewed meat were frantically searching for herbs. Navigation, aren't you saying that the chef is absolutely a good person? Why are we all poisoned? Every word the doctor says, he spits out a mouthful of green water. But he did help us do a lot of things. Besides, wasn't the first meal good? Maybe someone else poisoned us. The doctor almost fainted from his anger. You're still helping him speak. On this side, Shen Xing saw the hunter approaching the bottom of the mountain, leaving a long green mark. Walk directly in the spiritual realm and quickly come to the back of the hunter. The hunter spat out another mouthful of green water. The invisibility period ended, and Shen Xing suddenly appeared behind the hunter, pulling out his bone knife and making a thrust. The hunter didn't even have time to detonate the glycerin and collapsed. His eyes were blurry, but he still saw the person coming. Kitchen, you're good. Don't let me meet you again. Facing the hunter's resentful gaze, Shen Xing directly chopped him to death with a few knives. Shit, pretending to be a model and killing 2 bears really makes you a god. Shen Xing directly peeled off his meat, then threw the glycerin into the sea and ate his can of poisonous stewed meat. When it was about to erupt, it quietly appeared from the right side of the ship. Hello, is there anyone on board? The captain and navigator came upon hearing the sound, and the captain took out his gun and aimed at Shen Xing. Kitchen, we all got poisoned after eating the food you made. Shouldn't you give us an explanation? Ah. How could that be? Shen Xing pretended to be surprised. I have an antidote here, hurry up, eat it quickly. The captain stared at Shen Xing without any intention of shooting, and the navigator walked over with a military knife. Kitchen brother, I also really want to believe you, but the doctors have been poisoned to death, you. What else did he want to say? He saw the green water flowing from the corner of Shen Xing's mouth. I blanch, it's really poisonous. The captain and navigator exchanged a glance, and a doubt flashed in their eyes. Isn't it really his poison? Chapter 6. No explorer survives, expedition failed. You are listening at novelfull.audio. The captain still doesn't trust Shen Xing very much. Where have you been all night? That's right, today is already the 3rd day. The royal family is still in prison, and the hunters, doctors, and priests have all died. I'll go to the right to move coal, but it's all gone, only a few wooden boards. Shen Xing threw out 20 wooden boards from his backpack. The captain finally believed him. Here you are, antidote. After finishing, go find the key and release the royal family. We still have a chance. This bottle of antidote was still thrown to him by Shen Xing just now. Oh, good. In fact, he still has 2 bottles of antidote on his body. Why didn't the doctor find any herbs to make the antidote? Because his doctor's bag was secretly touched by Shen Xing. Of course, the herbs in the right camp were not taken by him, they were taken by hunters to make tea. I'll go back and cook, you guys go find the keys. It's also good. Watching the 2 of them walking towards the second camp on the right, Shen Xing had a wicked smile on his face. Let me stew another big pot of chicken soup for you, so you can get on the road. And now the engineer is nestled in a camp on the right, eating grilled meat. When his skills are good, he will let go and wait for the arrival of the blizzard. The Royal Marine Corps was alone on the ship and heard some movement. Who's back? Shen Xing was too lazy to pay attention to him, so he started making stewed meat and then made a poison that was sprinkled on the lean meat, mixed with the meat that the hunter had peeled off. Then he searched the ship in waves and picked up a few hidden scrap iron. There was also a needle in the workbench, and it was unclear who placed it. Exactly, make another poisonous needle. Hey, Dan Cook, I'm asking you a question. Noisy. After Shen Xing finished speaking this sentence, he returned to the kitchen and summoned a wave of ghostly creatures to the 2 people in the 2nd battalion on the right. The engineer also followed suit and summoned a wave. The 2 of them ran towards the ship. Hurry up, board the ship quickly, there are many ghouls. Shen Xing stood on the ship and shouted at the 2 people. There was no danger, neither of them died, but the captain lost most of his health. Damn it, both wolves are still here. After speaking, the captain pointed his gun at Shen Xing again and said confidently. You must be the 2nd wolf. Shen Xing raised his hands and shook his head suddenly. I'm wrongly accused. I've been cooking on the boat all along. The navigation assistant spoke on the side. Alright, Captain, we don't have many people now. Don't be suspicious of each other. You three fools, if you don't save me quickly, there will be a blizzard soon. The royal family roared in prison. He was the one who held back the most. Even if he was falsely accused of being a werewolf, he was really stuck in prison. What are you yelling at? With the key, wouldn't we save you? You're just a fool who doesn't do anything, just yells for help. You. The royal family is also silent. He doesn't want to come out yet. In his opinion, this has already been lost. At this moment, the stewed meat in the kitchen was also ready. Shen Xing brought it to the two people, one person and 2 cans. The captain didn't eat it immediately, but looked at Shen Xing. Shen Xing ate 2 large cans directly, and the captain followed suit. As for the hunter, didn't he say, blow up an iceberg? Why hasn't there been any movement yet? He doesn't know. The navigation punched the railing. I'll just say that guy is a wolf. No one has never come back and ended up dead. This is not what Shen Xing said. By the way, I still have a needle here that I took from the workbench. Do any of you want it? The captain's blood bar is only 1/3. You can use it directly for me, it was left by the doctor. Okay. Shen Xing plunged directly onto the captain's shoulder, and now all he needed was to wait quietly. At this time, the ship had not yet reached the foot of the glacier. Navigation, let's take our weapons to the mountain and take a look. Cook, please keep an eye on the boat. Okay. By the time they reach halfway up the mountain, it's almost time for the poison to spread. Watching the two of them leave, Shen Xing made several animal traps on the workbench and then signaled the engineers behind. Come to me, the engineer, who was eating barbecue, saw the situation and opened the perspective to see his teammate on the boat. The other 2 went up the mountain, and there was another one in the prison on the boat. He walked directly to the side of the boat from the spiritual realm. Hello, brother, are you there? I'm on the boat, come on in. Shen Xing has just finished 4 animal traps. The royal family, who was still in prison, naturally recognized who the person was. Engineer. Stupid cook, you are indeed a wolf. The engineer came directly to Shen Xing's side and gave him a thumbs up. Brother, you're too powerful to deceive them around. I saw you using poison several times. Upon hearing him talk about poison, Shen Xing remembered that he had just eaten a meal of poisonous meat and quickly took a bottle of antidote. Then come to the deck and place 2 animal traps on each side of the ship. Brother, what are you doing? Of course it's a trap. Do you have any extra weapons? Yes, I also have 2 axes. Since he inserted his kitchen knife into the bear's buttocks in Nakajima, he has never taken a weapon. At this moment, the 2 people walking up the mountain saw a corpse ahead. That's the hunter's body. The 2 exchanged a glance, both eyes filled with shock. Chef. At this point, green liquid flowed from the corners of their mouths. Toxic. The 2 quickly ran back and saw Shen Xing and the engineer standing on the deck from a distance. The navigation looked at Shen Xing with a resentful expression. Foolish cook, I believe you so much, you're lying to me. Shen Xing helplessly spread his hands. Soldiers never tire of deceit, I'm sorry. The captain squinted his eyes and looked at Shen Xing. Good cook, I should have shot you as soon as I saw you just now. Nausea, the 2 people on board began to vomit, and the royal family began to curse again in prison. You fools, I said from the beginning that the cook is a wolf, and I'll blanch you. Indeed, although the royal family is acting more arrogantly, the Royal Marine Corps, with guns, needs to be more arrogant. Engineer, is the energy full? Hee, it's already full. Then, the 2 summoned 2 third-level ghouls to the 2 people under the ship and died on the spot. The expedition failed, and the werewolf won the rest of the people, including the royal family who are still in prison, were directly wiped out, but fortunately, newcomers have the right to avoid death. Brother, you're too strong. I won without doing anything. Don't say that, your 2 buckets at the beginning are still crucial. Also, didn't you fix a lot of totems? It's also crucial. The engineer scratched his head with embarrassment after being praised so much. Hee, then you're still a big shot. You fought well and killed them all alone. By the way, big shot, which fortress are you in? I'm in Fortress 39, my name is Pei Qingfeng. Shen Xing raised his eyebrows. Fortress 39. So coincidental. Isn't this the closest fortress to him? Chapter 7. Unlimited Attack. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Each fortress has a manager, and the manager of Fortress 39, also known as Pei. I'm not in the fortress, I'm in the wilderness now. Pei Qingfeng's eyes widened and his face looked incredulous. Isn't it, big shot? You're not the Fuxing that landed in the wilderness, are you? Shen Xing asked back. Can't we? Pei Qingfeng quickly waved his hand and then looked at Shen Xing with a look of admiration. No, you're too powerful, big shot. You go hunting beasts to obtain crystal cores yourself. My sister and father don't let me leave the fortress, let alone go hunting beasts. Oh, then you really have a good sister, a good father. The danger outside the fortress is beyond your imagination. Your father is thinking for you, and I am quite close to your 39th fortress now. Really? Pei Qingfeng looked excited. Do you want to come here to play? My father is the manager here, and I can ask him to provide you with a free accommodation for the boss. Lying trough. Shen Xing didn't notice that this guy actually has such a good father. But Shen Xing couldn't show such urgency and think for a moment. That's not good, after all, the houses in the fortress are not cheap. With a wave of his hand, Pei Qingfeng looked like a young master who doesn't need money. It's just a house, and besides, my dad also cherishes talent, and... Pei Qingfeng leaned in Shen Xing's ear and whispered softly. My sister is so beautiful, with 1.2 meters long legs, she definitely won't be starving the child. After finishing speaking, he raised his eyebrows at Shen Xing and gave him a, you understand, look. Good guy, this is the first time I've encountered someone rushing to give away my sister. Cough, since you've invited so warmly, I'll come and take a look. Of course, it's not for his sister's sake, but because the wilderness is too dangerous, Shen Xing's current abilities are not enough to survive here. No problem, by the way, big brother, what's your name? I'll go pick you up then. My name is Shen Xing. Pei Qingfeng gestured okay to Shen Xing and left the Fuxing ship directly. Watching Pei Qingfeng leave in a hurry, Shen Xing shook his head and immediately looked at the personal panel in front of him. Do you want to settlement? Task completed. Your rating is S, and you have obtained items. Special stewed meat X1, S.level exclusive, regular meat cutter X1, resurrection coin X1, cabin upgrade material, iron, X10, private cabin has been opened, do you want to return? Return. Shen Xing also wants to see what's going on with this private cabin. Every good person who completes their first expedition or a werewolf who prevents the expedition from succeeding will open a private cabin. In the next moment, Shen Xing appeared in a wooden cabin with no items. Dear Captain, welcome back to the cabin. Please name your ship. Surprisingly, they still need to be named. Unlimited Attack. The naming of the infinite attack has been completed. Then, there was no response, not even anything in the cabin. Upon arriving on the deck, Shen Xing found himself in the center of the ocean, surrounded by an endless horizon. Shua! What's all this? Aren't you about to be eaten by a fierce tiger in the forest? Has the captain left the infinite attack? Nonsense. He hasn't figured out the situation yet. Is he going out to die? No. With a pat on his head, Shen Xing suddenly remembered that there was something during the settlement just now, wasn't it? Returning to the cabin, a game panel appeared in front of him. Extract. Extract. A few things appeared out of thin air in the cabin, a can of stewed meat, a kitchen knife, a golden resurrection coin with a 6-pointed star pattern, and 10 units of iron. Sleeping trough, so many. Where did it come from? Special stewed meat. Obtaining an S.level or above rating, improving physical fitness, enhancing combat effectiveness, and achieving full satiety, the effect varies from person to person. Good thing. A regular kitchen knife. Just a kitchen knife that can easily cut open fierce beasts, not bad, at least you can defend yourself. As the saying goes, no matter how high your martial arts are, you are afraid of a kitchen knife. Resurrection coin. Used before the next expedition, can be saved from annihilation after failure. Worth the word resurrection, awesome. Cabin upgrade material, iron. One of the materials used for private cabin upgrades. Shen Xing picked up the pot of stewed meat and sniffed it in front of his nose. Is this thing really that magical? I'm not sure if I can see my current personal panel data. Name. Shen Xing, status. Hunger, combat power. 5/7 for normally strong men, special skills. None. A simple and unadorned panel appeared in front of Shen Xing, which appeared to be temporarily processed. Combat power 5. Chua, who do you look down on? At least I am also a college student. Looking at the stewed meat in his hand, Shen Xing unconsciously swallowed his saliva and then his stomach churned. He couldn't confirm if it was the can he had just poisoned. Anyway, let's eat first before we talk. After a pot of stewed meat, the hunger disappeared instantly, followed by a burst of hot and dry heat from the body. What's going on? It's so hot, so hot. Shen Xing wanted to jump into the sea immediately, but he couldn't get out because it didn't belong to him. Okay. Hot. Shen Xing fainted directly on the deck, and the sweat emanating from his body was evaporated. Fortress 39, Manager's Manor. Dad, sister, I succeeded. Dad, sister. In the conference hall, Pei Mingyue and Pei Qingtian are discussing important matters. Mingyue, a small fortress not far from us has been attacked and has completely fallen. The people who have escaped have arrived at the Sunset Forest, and they will arrive at our fortress in 2 days. Do you want to accept them? The girl has a delicate face, and every frown and smile is extremely tempting, especially her full figure. Even if it is tightly wrapped, it cannot stop her proud capital. Dad, don't forget that they came from the Sunset Forest, where there were many fierce tigers. Even if they arrived, how many people would be left? Instead of thinking about these things, let's consider the construction of the fortress more. I think those beasts will soon attack us. Pei Qingtian frowned and was about to speak when the door was pushed open. Dad, sister, I succeeded. Pei Qingtian picked up the teacup in front of him and threw it at Pei Qingfeng. You little bunny, how many times have I told you that when I discuss business with my sister, we are not allowed to come in? Pei Qingfeng quickly ran behind Pei Qingtian and pinched his shoulder. Oh, Dad, I'm just too excited. Pei Mingyue covered her mouth and chuckled lightly on the side. She loved watching these two people perform filial piety. Roll on, when I see you, I get angry. If you have half of your sister's abilities, I can also enjoy pure happiness. Pei Qingfeng ran forward again and beat his leg. Dad, I've already said that I'm not managing that piece of material. Just have my sister help you. Pei Mingyue poked Pei Qingfeng's head. You know how to play. Chapter 8. Sister, do you want your husband or not? You are listening at novelfull.audio. Pei Qingtian's wife passed away due to difficult childbirth while giving birth to Pei Qingfeng, and he did not remarry. She dragged her 2 siblings alone, but fortunately Pei Mingyue was able to help him with many things. As for Pei Qingfeng, it's hard to say a word. You were in a hurry just now, what did you say was successful? Pei Mingyue put away those materials, and Pei Qingfeng immediately let go of Pei Qingtian's thigh and gave him a hard squeeze. Hiss lousy. Pei Qingfeng looked proud. Of course I succeeded in my expedition. Both of them were taken aback, and then Pei Qingtian said seriously. Are you saying that you secretly went to the Fuxing ship again? Seeing the expression on Pei Qingtian's face, Pei Qingfeng quickly retreated, knowing that it was a sign of an old-haired man in front of fire. Hey, Dad, I've already succeeded in my expedition. Why are you still angry? Next, there was a good scene of King Qin circling around a pillar, with two people circling around Pei Mingyue, one chasing and the other running. You little bunny, how many times have I told you not to go, not to go? Now that your wings are hard, you dare to sneak, right? Pei Qingfeng also refused to be outdone and said with his head held high. You old man, I'm already 20 years old. Why are you still taking care of me? I'll go. It's a bit rough. Pei Qing, the weather is urgent. Okay, you unfilial son, Pei Qingtian searched for something suitable, and finally picked up a book and threw it directly at him. I'll go, old man. Are you really here? Pei Qingfeng dodged and hid behind Pei Mingyue, and the book landed firmly on her body. Pei Qingfeng, hiding behind Pei Mingyue, poked out a head. Slightly rough road, can't hit. Pei Qingtian still wants to continue smashing things over. That's enough. Pei Mingyue shouted loudly, her gloomy face gripping Pei Qingfeng's ear. Hey, it hurts, take it easy, sister, take it easy. In no time, father and son sat opposite Pei Mingyue, gently rubbing against the bruises that had just been smashed. The two lowered their heads and dared not look up. Qingfeng, fully explain your matter. Ow. After listening to Pei Qingfeng's words, a hint of surprise flashed on Pei Mingyue's face. Are you a cook, an engineer, beating them so hard that they didn't even sail to the foot of the mountain? Pei Qingfeng humbly touched the back of his head. In fact, most of it was thanks to Brother Shen. I just fixed the totem in the back and watched his signal display skills. On the third day, we both occupied the ship. Pei Mingyue's beautiful eyes widened. Can you two still occupy the boat? Pei Qingfeng patted her chest. That's not it. Brother Shen poisoned them all by himself, and he didn't die even once. It's not a big deal. Pei Mingyue has already analyzed that the reason they were able to win this time is entirely due to the arrogance of hunters. They dare to climb the mountain alone. Do you really think that learning some skills will make them invincible? And then there's the royal family, acting too arrogantly and being disloyal. Alright, a chef can help you win with this burden, which can be considered a bit of strength. Next time you enter the Fuxing ship, you must tell me and my dad. Oh, I got it. Suddenly, Pei Qingfeng seemed to have thought of something and looked eagerly at Pei Mingyue. Sister, do you want your husband or not? As long as you speak up, I'll bring it to you in a few days. Bang! Pei Mingyue punched Pei Qingfeng on the head. Pei Qingfeng, is that all I can do for you, sister? Woo on the deck, a strong light shone into Shen Xing's eyes, and he instinctively used his hand to block it. What am I? After waking up in a daze, Shen Xing remembered that he had eaten a can of stewed meat and became unconscious. Shua. As expected, it is poisonous. Harmful to others will ultimately harm oneself. Shen Xing slowly stood up, his whole body crackling. Ah, it's comfortable. How do you feel like you've done an essential oil massage all over your body? Shen Xing lightly jumped, feeling like he was flying, and then slammed heavily on the railing above his head. Hiss, it hurts. He huddled up with his head in his arms, and it took him a while to recover. He looked up at the railing, which was 3 or 4 meters high, and wondered in his heart. When can I jump so high? Is it? Shen Xing, who finally reacted, opened his personal panel directly. Name. Shen Xing, status. Healthy, combat power. 25, 7 for normally strong men, special skills. None, combat power 25. Surprisingly increased by 5 times. Hahaha, the heavens don't give birth to me, Shen Xing setting sail will last forever like a long night. Return to the cabin again and look at those few things. I wonder if these things can be taken out. All items can be taken out, but the next time they enter the cabin, a crystal nucleus needs to be used as a medium, that is to say, after I bring it out now, I must use crystal nuclei to put it in. No one answered. Shen Xing picked up the kitchen knife, and as for the ingredients and resurrection coins, let's stay here. Leave the cabin. Xiu. A burst of light changed in front of Shen Xing's eyes, and he appeared again in the forest, where he had been attacked by a fierce tiger last time. Not far away was a white bone, which belonged to that fierce tiger. Is this? It's back again. Suddenly, Shen Xing only felt an aura locking him in. A bony hyena appeared, about 2 meters long. If it were Shen Xing in the past, he would have already started running, but now he is no longer Wu Xia among. Oh, this is treating me like a prey. Well, let me show you my current strength. After speaking, he took out the kitchen knife from behind, and one person and one dog looked at each other from a distance, without anyone taking action. Shen Xing deliberately lowered his head to expose a loophole to the hyena. Sure enough, the beast was just a beast, and he fell for it directly. I saw Shen Xing cleverly turn to one side, and a hyena brushed past. The kitchen knife in Shen Xing's hand gently brushed past. Elegance, timeless. As soon as the hyena landed, it slowly split into 2 without any pain. TSK, this kitchen knife is simply a divine tool. Shen Xing approached the hyena and cut open its head, revealing a crystal nucleus emitting a faint light. Great, harvest a crystal nucleus. Click. A crisp sound appeared very abrupt at this moment, and Shen Xing pointed his kitchen knife at the nearby bushes. Who's where? Come out. Don't do anything. A man dragged a woman out, who was still holding a child. This big brother, we have no ill intentions, and we have also escaped and happened to pass by. Shen Xing just glanced at the 2 of them and turned to prepare to leave. Wait a minute, big brother. You should also be going to Fortress 39, can you take us on a journey? Shen Xing is not the holy mother of the original owner, she turned her head and looked at him coldly. Get lost. The man was frightened by Shen Xing's cold gaze and took a step back. You. He was a bit angry, but he didn't dare to show it. He just saw Shen Xing easily kill a hyena with a knife. Big brother, I can give you a reward. Shen Xing stopped to see what reward he could offer. Chapter 9. I give my wife to you. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Oh. What compensation can you offer? Shen Xing looked at the man jokingly, watching him touch him all over his body, but couldn't find anything. When his gaze fell on his wife, his eyes lit up and he grabbed one of his hands. I have a wife, I can give her to you to play with, and my daughter can also give her to you. The woman next to her trembled uncontrollably, tears falling silently. Shen Xing slowly approached, and the man thought he had agreed. The struggling woman whispered in her ear, Wife, stop struggling. Only then can we walk out of the forest alive. Me and our daughter can have a way to survive. Upon hearing this, the light in the woman's eyes dimmed and she no longer struggled, only staring blankly at the child in her arms. Upon seeing this, the man released the person who had grabbed the woman and came to Shen Xing, flattering him. Big brother, you. Bang. The sudden kick caused the man to fly backwards for several meters and collide with a big tree, causing blood to flow from the corner of his mouth and trembling his fingers toward Shen Xing. You. Subsequently, she fainted and was frightened by the sudden scene, causing the woman to squat on the ground. A wolf howl echoed through the sky, and Shen Xing's face froze. No, it's a wolf. Wild wolves are social animals, and there can never be only one wolf. Shen Xing no longer glanced at the woman, turned around and ran. The woman glanced at the man who had fainted in the distance and ran towards the direction where Shen Xing had disappeared, holding the child in her arms. Not long after the two of them left, several wolves appeared in their previous positions, and the wolves directly divided the man and ate him. Ah! Shen Xing immediately noticed the woman running behind him, and he wouldn't stop her. As long as he could keep up, he wouldn't just go and be an insignificant person, no matter what. He never believes in good deeds being rewarded, he only knows that if he doesn't run, he will become food. At this time, many refugees gathered outside Fortress 39. Open the door, why don't you let us in? Yes, open the door. A group of dirty refugees rose up in anger, attempting to force them to open the door. Bang! With a gunshot, everyone suddenly became honest. A man dressed in luxury appeared on the high wall, looking down disdainfully. A group of lowly people, if you don't show them some strength, dare to ride on your head and pee. Ma Rong shrank and hid in the crowd. Song Zhe was no longer by her side, but she was wearing a men's coat. It is the clothes of the new big brother in this group now. Boss, what should we do? They won't let us in. The leader painfully took out a crystal nucleus from his bag and raised it high. Sir, we have crystal nuclei, please let us in. Zhu Kai's eyes lit up, and he didn't expect that this group of people still had crystal nuclei. He gestured for someone next to him to come down. Go and call him over. Huang Shaofa was brought to Zhu Kai, and another person handed him the crystal nucleus. Sir, please do me a favor. Zhu Kai shone the crystal nucleus in his hand towards the sun, emitting a rainbow. Well, not bad. I called you here to ask if there is anyone in your group named Shen Xing. Huang Shaofa shook his head. Since he took over the management of this group, he had never heard of a person named Shen Xing. Sir, there is indeed no one named Shen Xing in our team. Suddenly, he thought of the kid who had escaped a few days ago. Ma Rong, that slut, seemed to have called him Brother Shen. Can't it be him? I don't know what the adult is looking for from this person. I can go to the team to inquire. A surge of authority suddenly appeared on Zhu Kai's body. What shouldn't be asked, don't ask, go and inquire carefully, then let you go. If there is good news, I can also make the decision to give you a larger resettlement area for refugees. Huang Shaofa's face lit up with joy. This was a good thing. As long as there was a certain area, he could build a team. Okay, I'll go right away. The fortress is divided into 2 layers in total. The outermost layer is used to block the beasts, while the inner layer is used to block these refugees. Anyone who can live in the innermost world is either born inside or possesses special abilities. Not much time, Huang Shaofa came with Ma Rong. Sir, I have found her. This woman knows Shen Xing. Ma Rong has an average appearance, but she has a good figure. Zhu Kai looked up and down at her without any concealment. Do you really know Shen Xing? If you lie, there will be a price to pay. Upon hearing the words, cost, Ma Rong's cheeks suddenly turned red. I know that at first, Shen Xing was with us, but halfway through, he fell ill and killed one of our team members, so he left the team on his own. Zhu Kai knew she wasn't telling the truth when he saw her eyes flickering. So you should be able to recognize him, right? Yes, I know him even if he turns into dust. Zhu Kai waved his hand and a soldier walked out. Alright, you can go now. Follow him and he will take you to the area assigned to you. Huang Shaofa's face lit up with joy, and he quickly thanked Zhu Kai before pulling Ma Rong away. Wait a minute, I mean you can leave now. I didn't say she can leave, she needs to stay and help us identify Shen Xing. Huang Shaofa hesitated to speak. Although he had intercepted this woman halfway, she had served him for at least 2 days. As she was about to speak, she met Zhu Kai's smiling eyes and had to turn around and leave. Huang, wait a moment. Ma Rong took off his coat and handed it to Huang Shaofa, smiling brightly. Thank you very much for taking care of Brother Huang these past few days. I will repay Brother Huang when I have the opportunity in the future. As for what the reward is, both of them know it well. Without the cover of his coat, Ma Rong's figure was clearly visible, especially the fullness on his chest, which was faintly visible. Several soldiers inside the room unconsciously swallowed their saliva. Ma Rong even made a small woman's posture, and Zhu Kai couldn't help but feel a bit passionate. However, when he caught a glimpse of the bruises on the mountain peak on her chest, he couldn't help but understand this woman's experience. You all go out. Yes, Captain. A few people looked at Ma Rong with nostalgia and walked out reluctantly. Zhu Kai hooked his hand at Ma Rong, who came to Zhu Kai with a twisted expression. Zhu Kai roughly pulled at her hair and grabbed it. Hiss! A wave of pain spread throughout Ma Rong's body. Woman, are you very good at it? Then, she pressed her head. About 2 kilometers away from the fortress, Shen Xing jumped off a big tree and patted the dust off his body. It's about to arrive. Then, a rustling sound came from behind, and a woman emerged disheveled and unkempt, holding a child in her arms. She didn't get close to Shen Xing, just stood far away. Shen Xing didn't expect that this woman would follow him for a day and a night without losing her, so she really should live on. Get up again and walk towards the nearby fortress. Chapter 10. Entering the fortress. You are listening at novelfull.audio. In the afternoon, Shen Xing finally arrived at the fortress. Looking at the high iron wall, there is a strong sense of security. Just as he was about to move forward, he was stopped by a soldier holding a musket. Stop, what's your name? Where do you come from? Shen Xing only treated him as a routine examination and truthfully explained it. My name is Shen Xing, I came from there. Seeing Shen Xing pointing towards the sunset forest behind him, the soldier who stopped him burst into laughter. Ha ha ha, do you think you're a superhero? You want to cross the sunset forest? Suddenly, he seemed to remember something, and his smile suddenly stopped. What did you say your name was just now? Shen Xing's eyebrows twitched, thinking to himself, this person is young, why are their ears not working well? Shen Xing, what's the problem? The person immediately restrained his smile and respectfully said to Shen Xing, please wait a moment, I will report to the captain. Shen Xing is puzzled. He just wants to enter the fortress alone and needs to report to his superiors before he can enter. At this moment, the woman hugged the child and came behind Shen Xing. Thank you. Shen Xing didn't answer. He didn't mean to save her, nor did he want to be blamed by her. The woman knew that if it weren't for Shen Xing intentionally slowing down, she would never have been able to keep up. She took out something from the bottom of her clothes and handed it to Shen Xing. Here you are. Shen Xing glanced out of the corner of his eye and discovered that it was actually a crystal nucleus. Crystal nucleus. How did you have this thing? The woman smiled and explained. I happened to see this by chance, and I don't know what its purpose is, but I see that you have extraordinary skills, so I believe it must be useful to you. Shen Xing stared into the other person's eyes without noticing any hypocrisy. If I tell you that you can use it to enter the fortress and get a decent place to live, will you still give it to me? The woman was taken aback and didn't expect this thing to be so valuable, but she was only momentarily stunned and stuffed the crystal core into Shen Xing's hand. My daughter and I were able to leave the forest alive because of you. No matter how valuable it is not enough to repay our life-saving kindness. After speaking, she looked gently at her daughter in her arms. Shen Xing was slightly surprised. In his opinion, chaotic times can test human nature the most. Whether or not you can stick to the bottom line will be the foundation of you as a person. Shen Xing. A cry of surprise rang out, and Shen Xing turned his head to look at Ma Rong, a despicable person. Next to her was a person dressed differently from the others. Compared to them, this was probably their captain. Someone is looking at Shen Xing. Is this the person the young master is looking for? Why does it look like a refugee? How could you walk out of the forest alive? Shen Xing smiled slightly. I'm sorry, not only did I come out alive, but I also lived well. You. Ma Rong glared angrily at Shen Xing, then grabbed Zhu Kai's hand and tightly grasped it. Captain Zhu, it's him who killed the manager of our team in order to seize the team's crystal nucleus. Look, the crystal nucleus is still in his hands. Hurry up and catch him. Upon hearing this, the woman holding the child next to her tightened her heart. Shen Xing was also speechless. This woman really came with her mouth open. Anyway, Shen Xing also wanted to see what Captain Zhu would do. At most, he had to change his fortress. Zhu Kai withdrew his hand from Ma Rong's arms, just as Ma Rong smiled proudly and looked at Shen Xing. Pop! A heavy slap hit her face, and she sat on the ground, her mind buzzing. Who am I? Where am I? Mr. Shen, welcome to Fortress 39. I am Zhu Kai, the captain of the perimeter patrol. After speaking, he extended his right hand to Shen Xing. What does this mean? Shen Xing's eyebrows twitched slightly. If it weren't for the faces of these so-called fortress managers in the original owner's memory, he wouldn't have doubted them. Shen Xing. Thinking back, he still extended his right hand. Suddenly, he felt the strength of holding his right hand increase. It was then that Shen Xing understood that he was trying to test him. Shen Xing suddenly exerted force, gripping Zhu Kai's hand red and white. Shen Xing smiled slightly. Captain Zhu, you have a lot of strength. No one around could tell the situation, but no one dared to speak. Seeing Zhu Kai's mouth twitching, Shen Xing finally let go of him. Zhu Kai stumbled and looked at Shen Xing with a frightened expression. Are you a transcendent? Extraordinary. This was the second time Shen Xing had heard this word and realized he had made a mistake. Zhu Kai quickly shut up and placed his slightly painful hand behind him. Mr. Shen, it was me who made a mistake. I was waiting for you here on behalf of the young master. Young master. Shen Xing carefully recalled the engineer who was somewhat out of tune. Are you young master Pei Qingfeng? Right, right. Shen Xing looked at him with a smile on his face. Did your young master ask you to test me just now? Zhu Kai dare not tell the truth. If Pei Qingfeng finds out, he will go to repair the house tomorrow. No, I saw Mr. Shen dressing up like this and making his own decisions. I kindly ask Mr. Shen to be magnanimous. Watching Zhu Kai bend 90 degrees and bow to Shen Xing, touching Ma Rong on his right cheek, his mouth wide open enough to swallow an egg. Shen Xing didn't feel much about the person in front of him. At least he didn't believe Ma Rong's one-sided words just now and started attacking him. Of course, it was more due to Pei Qingfeng. Alright, take me to meet your young master. Yes, Mr. Shen, this way, please. At this moment, Ma Rong, who was sitting on the ground, grabbed Shen Xing's leg and kept thrusting 2 balls on his chest. Shen Xing, no. Brother Shen, why don't you take me inside? I can be your ox and horse. Her actions just now, when Zhu Kai comes back, he will definitely not let her go. Only by seizing Shen Xing as a life-saving straw can he have a chance to survive. Besides, when he showed a little bit before, Shen Xing would give her everything he ate. Now that he has taken the initiative, he must be unable to give up. Zhu Kai frowned and reached out to 2 soldiers next to him to pull away Ma Rong, but Shen Xing waved his hand to stop him. He crouched down and pinched Ma Rong's face, half smiling. Ma Rong pretended to have a shy face. Why did I take you inside? Ma Rong was shocked. She didn't expect Shen Xing to ask like this. You. Don't you like me? Shen Xing laughed angrily, but the original owner had a slight liking for her, but the original owner was already dead. I like you. I like the bust that you are capable of. Am I having a mental illness or are you having a mental illness? Ma Rong thought he had misheard. Is this still the young man who kept all the delicious food for her and blushed just by smiling at him? Seeing that Ma Rong stopped speaking, Shen Xing kicked him away, turned around and left, then threw the crystal core in his hand to Zhu Kai. Arrange a place to stay for the woman holding the child behind. It's not Shen Xing, it's just some people. She deserves to live.